Hello everyone, this is Sudhir Gautam, Senior Assistant Editor and Bureau Head for the Southern States of India for Illets Technomedia Private Limited. Today we have a very special guest with us, Mr. Kiran Soni Gupta, Additional Secretary and Financial Advisor for Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India. Welcome ma'am to the
Thank you.
can you please share your views about this particular platform as a knowledge exchange and your past experience with Illets Technomedia?
I think it's a very good initiative which ELETS has taken and is continuing. I believe this is the 9th meeting, and the way they bring about people from cross-section of who have had the experience of working, as well as those professionals who are into that field. I think it's a very good platform for sharing and identifying future needs as well. I think I see there are more than 300 participants and some very good companies which have come forward. And the sessions, the way they are designed, I think that also is very creditable, covering both banking and the governance. So I think this will be a very useful in the future, both for policymakers and both for administrators at the field and corporate sector. How do we together take forward the leaps in technology that has happened, and how do we further ensure that technology is used to the welfare of common people?
Since you're heading the IT and Electronics Department with the Government of India, we would like to know, like in the past few years, where has the digital India, the progress has reached in terms of technology and electronics?
See, digital India is a big program, and it's a flagship scheme of the government, and we see that digitization of everything has become so important, where sharing of information becomes much easier, the processing of information becomes much easier, and it has crept into our lives, whether it is official or private. I think it is now connecting everyone. We started in a very humble way in late 70s with our National Informatics Center, which did cover and connect the states. But now, over time, we see that small thing which started there is now, we see it in full bloom. Technology, yes, has its own challenges. We need to go further, and the way we see technology is now cutting across our sectors, whether it's e-hospitals, whether digital payments, whether it is DG lockers, or whether it is common service centers, or whether it is e-courts. It has led to simplification of procedures, and things have become much more accessible. And the whole interaction of government with the people, the very face of it has changed. The ways and means has changed. And I think digital India will continue to bring about more changes as we spread this technology, and as people down the field start using it. Of course, the biggest challenge for us was digital literacy as well. So we started with a very big program with the NILET, where it is giving computer training to the people. Other challenges which I see is cyber security and data protection. Cyber security is a big, because I feel the wars are now going to be fought on online platforms and on basis of digital world, I would say, and not on the traditional techniques. The wars were there because everybody knows information is power, and how much sharing of information, like sharing of technology, should be there. And I think India has done very remarkably well in beginning, and now we are going into the next phase where artificial intelligence is there, blockchain technology is there, machine learning is there. I think people are still not aware of the changes that these things will bring about. But certainly I'm sure we have to prepare ourselves to the greater changes that we are going to witness in the future years, and prepare ourselves And we have to also ensure that human resources which are employed in digital India, we need to prepare people and persons involved for future skills. So ministry has initiated a program for future skills so that people are not caught unawares suddenly finding out of employment. But if we prepare them for a higher level for a different jobs, I'm sure there's nothing to fear. But yes, technology always simplifies and becomes more precise. Another major change which I see is data analytics, because government itself sits on a very big data. We generate a lot of data, but data analysis I feel is not really leveraged as much as it ought to be. So data analytics should become our subject both for in our education system, as we have in US, MBAs specializing in data analytics, and it should throw up cues for policy making to the government. I think the data should be really used, and we have some wonderful examples where people are trying out, and government is likely to bring out Data Protection Act as well. I think that will give another fillip for everybody to get connected digitally.
As you talked about data analytics, there are some states which are looking for at the same time the data which comes out from the public. I mean, say in terms of health, they're also analyzing the health scenarios in this within the state. At the same time, they also look at the value addition and also some sort of revenue mobilization. How do you see these things?
I think for governments, whether it is central government or state governments, first thing is to see that benefits or welfare schemes, whatever government has designed, should go to the right target population. So we have a lovely example of Telangana government where I believe the state government officials have not used Aadhaar, but they have used other characteristics, and they match how many people are real people, and they have deleted many bogus ration cards. And even in another program where the subsidy was flowing to the people, they have identified people who have been availing of it multiple times. So I think that is the way we improve the effectiveness of our schemes, including efficiency of money and going to the people who actually really need. So I think again here the digital economy will play a very big role.
Um, um, uh, Ma'am, there is one more. As you also already talked about, there is a challenge for this digital reach and literacy to reach down there. Of course, initiatives are there to train them in certain this thing. How further this e-governance and m-governance and digital India will take further, according to your understanding, for the population in the rural area and or not much exposed or to the technology.
I think that is true. It is a big challenge, but India, as a country, is focusing a lot on governance and infrastructure, building up infrastructure, as well as training people who are going to use it and those who are going to be beneficiaries. And we have lost many programs, and I think a big focus is there just to create infrastructure, because infrastructure has to be in place. We need to have, say, data centers in the states. We need to have iCloud services. How many services get transferred to iCloud? What is our capacities? What is our inbuilt mechanism of security systems? What is that, how people or countries can hack each other, their websites, or they collect the information. I think we need to build in real security and protection, particularly for sensitive data. Regarding the training of rural youth, rural people, I think lot many are getting connected now. If you see the digital payments, which is a big program of the government, I think, or Aadhaar, or use of Aadhaar, or how the subsidy flows to people, whether it is LPG subsidy or any other agriculture subsidy, or I think there's a big change, and people are gradually realizing that there's no escape. It is not something that we can avoid. It is something that we have to learn and learn to go along with it, and how we can improve. But I would say in the end, it's technology ultimately has to aid and assist. Technology should not overpower the quality of human relationships, the emotions. No, you have to still remain connected with each other. Yes, as an aid, it can be used to enhance effectiveness.
One thing we would like to understand, ma'am, since you are at the center, there are various state governments also, and for this, what is the challenge you still see between the central government and the state governments for these things to be effective and proliferate further to the larger audience?
I think state governments and central government are working hand in hand, because technology is something which is required everywhere, and technology has become a very important component of governance. So be it any government, be it anywhere, you need governments who can efficiently deliver their services to the people and ultimately enhance people's welfare. So I think there are no differences amongst the governments on this issue, that they have to work towards the welfare of people. So I think central government is taking a lead in terms of more of policy initiatives, and we are prompting the states to enhance their own capacities, whether it's iCloud or data centers. We do give them some assistance, but our government at the center, presently ministry, we are looking at more at forging ahead. What more changes, what more new startups, what more new collaborations we need to do with the countries. And we are also focusing on manufacturing of electronic products, because that's a big thing. That's not only just make in India, but that's something where you create wealth for the nation, and that is which is needed if you really want to expand in a big way. So now you take healthcare, or you take education, or you take any other field, or scholarships, or social justice, or even courts. Now everybody is getting connected and everybody has that need. So now our challenge is how the whole system should flow smoothly over a long period of time.
Thanks for throwing light on the initiatives, ma'am. We
Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us.